Hello community, I hope you are doing good. In this discussion we will see how to call default methods of the Odoo using the XML-RPC. And in case you missed previous discussion about how to authenticate with the Odoo using the Python script, there are two ways you can authenticate using the password and the API key. Please check, link is given in the description. And if you want to learn more about Odoo, you can visit the Weblands channel. Under the playlist you can see Odoo development label is here, and you can see under that label you can see different types of playlist available with the different topic wise with the real test cases. Let's back to our main topic, like how to call default Odoo methods using the Python script. So last time we already created one Python script in the Windows system, so the same file I just copy paste in the MacBook, right, Mac OS, and that file I just place here in this Odoo directory at the moment, but you can place anywhere. And here once like I will let's say run this Python script, right, you can see this RPC, and 2 is the database, the user ID it will automatically return, right? So that means successfully connected. And let's say if the password of the user is missing, right, and I will try to again execute this script, you can see it will return the false. So that means the authentication is failed, right? So now we are trying to like call the default methods to how to get the customer details, right? So let's say in the front end side, let me show you, let's say the sales, right, in the customers, and here you can see there are 38 records available in this res.partner. Now if you remember in the first session I told you, if you don't know the Odoo at all, right, and you want to learn about this integration part in the Odoo side using the XML-RPC, so this is the best sessions for you. So here you don't need to worry about anything, like I will explain everything from the scratch, all the methods, the default method which is useful in the XML-RPC only. All right, I will not explain each and every methods. And if you want to learn more about the ORM methods, you can just visit here this ORM methods, like how many methods is there and what is the purpose and all, right? So here you can see res.partner, this is the model name. So let me add here the model name, right, res.partner, and here we have to search, right, all the partners. So we have to just use the list like this, the blank list, right, and we have to just call the method, and that method is the search method. Okay, so this is the inbuilt method available in the Odoo side ORM framework, right? You want to search records for the specific model, right, then you have to use the search method. Now we have to call the RPCs, right, same like this one, like we use for the login. So for that, like here we can use like operation equal to XML-RPC lib dot server proxy. Here we can use the URL and simple XML-RPC and object. You can see here this common is for authentication, and for the object you can access, or let's say if you want to perform a CRUD operation, right, like CRUD means like create, read, update and delete, right? You can just pick the first character and it's having a CRUD keyword, right? So it's a general terminology in all the languages, right? So if you want to perform the CRUD operation, you can use the object, right, the service proxy, and from here we have to call, let's say, the list of partner IDs, right, and simple we can use here the operation, then after dot, and simple we can use here execute, right? This is the method, and here we have to pass the first parameter is the DB name, then after UID, right? See, this UID, the integer field we have to pass here. After that, password, right? PWD, and here we have to mention the model name. So which model we have to use? So model name is the alias.partner, right? And which method we have to call, right? So we have to call the search method, and the parameter we have to pass is a search. So this one, right? And it will store here in this variable, and let's print this list of partner IDs, and let me execute this one, and you can see like total IDs it will return this ones, right? So let me print here the len list of partner IDs, and again I will try to call this method, and you can see 38 records we found, IDs, right? And you can see here 38. Now you can see here, this is the Odoo log, right? Whenever someone using the XML-RPC, you can see here, right, like who logged in successfully. So admin is logged in successfully for this database. Like someone is doing some XML-RPC code, right? You can see the XML command and XML object. So you can see here the XML command and XML object we are executing in the Odoo side, right? And let's say I will try to, let's say, stop the service, right? Stop the service means once I will refresh the screen, you can see I can't able to access the Odoo. And the same here, let's say if I will try to run, right, you can see the connection refuse error. So again we have to just active the Odoo service, right? And here I will again try to run this script. Now you can see total IDs is available and total record, I mean the ID is 38. Now let's say you already get the IDs, right, using the search method. So right now let's say I want to search only the phone number is available, right? So we have a field phone number, right? So you can see here the phone, and the field name is the phone, right? So let's say phone not equal to false. So how many record is there in the Odoo? Like I want to just retrieve only those records which the phone number is available, right? So I just pass here the condition, and once I will run, you can see 38 record found, and that is true actually. So let's say if I'll go to here and search like phone and is set, and you can see 38 records, right? But let's say if I will try to search here the mobile, right, like set, then you can see none is configured, right? So I will do one more thing, like instead of the phone I will use like mobile, and now you can see here it will return as a 0, the blank list. All right, so like this you can add multiple conditions here, okay, using the comma separate add value, and in the tuple you have to provide one more condition. So like that way you can just pass the condition and you will get the result. Now what about let's say you want to also get the informations about all the lists, right? So let me comment this part, and similar like this I will try to copy here, and simple I will try to add here method equal to read, okay, and instead of the search we have to pass out this list of partner IDs. Now you can see here a list of partner IDs, right? And I will click to like this. Again it's having a blank, so that means our this condition is satisfied, and right now I want to all the records, okay? So for that, like I will run again, and you can see I'm getting all the fields which is available in the customer profile, right? So don't worry about this one. This is the Base64 code of the image of that specific customer, right? So you can see here the supplier rank, customer rank, right? The phone number and all, you will get like this, and it will return as a list of dictionary. So let me execute the for loop. Let's say for customer in list of partners, right? And let's say I want to only get the, let's say, customer name, phone number, and the email ID and email and the ID, right? So first thing is the ID, customer is the name, customer phone number, and customer email, right? And I will try to call the RPC. So you can see here, like ID, this is the customer name, this is phone number, this is email ID, right? You can see here all the informations you will get like this in the Python script. Right now we are executing this Python script outside of the Odoo. Make sure like Odoo service is working fine, then your script is also working fine. Okay, so like we used the search, right, to get the specific result of this specific model, right? And let's say it will return always the ID, list of IDs, right? And the read method, we have to pass out here the IDs. So these IDs should be accessed in the Odoo database, right? So this read method, before this read method we have to call the search. Okay, so it will return the IDs of the database from the Odoo side, and we are passing here. So after that we will access actual data, let's say name, phone number, email, mobile number, stat, the full address, the sub contacts, and everything using the read method. All right, there is one more method is there, let's say the search count. Okay, so let me comment this read method as well as this search method. Now the method equal to search underscore count, right? And we have to also use the search parameter here. So let's say the method and the search, like whatsoever we are searching, it will just provide the count, right? So you can see here in the search method we just print the list of IDs, right? And after that we just use like how many record is there, so we use the LAN keyword, right? So it will count the total of IDs. So if you don't want to use like this, right, you can simply call default ORM methods in the Odoo side, search underscore count, and once you run you can see, oh sorry, so we didn't print list of partner IDs, and let me comment this print statement also. So you can see 38 is right, and let's say here if I will add like, let's say mobile is not null, right? So how many record is there in the contact list which don't which having a mobile number field already, right? So I will execute and you can see 0 found. All right, so another interesting method is let's say the method name is the fields underscore get. So let's say if you want to get all the fields related this res partner, right? So you can just use the fields.get method, and simple you can use here, let's say like this, fields detail, right? And you can see model method, and simple you can just pass here the blank list actually, and simple print this variable, right? And once you execute and successfully, it will return dictionary format, and the key is always the field name. Okay, so the field name means, like you can see here, this is the field name. Here there is some extra attribute is there, like what is the purpose of this field, right? What is the data type of this field and what values they can store, and in case this is depends on the other fields, it will also retrieve those informations. And another thing is it is required read only compute field, related field also, right? So it will give you here the detailed informations. So you can see there are a lot of fields available in the RES partner. So I will try to simplify like len, like how many fields is there. So I will use the len keyword, and now you can see 148 fields available, right? So let's confirm here. So I'm going to here in the fields list, and you can see 148 fields available for this res.partner. And simple, it will always return this one. So field name is the active, the field label is this one, what is the model name, right? What is the field type? This is the base type, the indexed, stored, read only, all the informations you can see here, everything it will return here. So let's say if you are trying to get the schema of that specific model, right, you can just use the fields underscore get method. Another thing is, and this is very important, let's say, and here let's say if you want to only get the specific fields attributes, let's say the name, right, the read only is there, or let's say the type and all, right? So you can just use here the comma, and here you can just use attributes, right? And simple, you can just use here the type, right? I just want a type and the string, right? And once I will execute, now you can see here the followers, right? It's having a blank right now at the moment. So you can see here it's written a none, right? Let me add one more parameter. Let's say read only required, right? Oops, there is the same thing here. And let me add here the list of this, like let's say ID, name, email. So here I want to get only this fields informations, right? Nothing else, like all the details, right? You can see here the name, right? In the name you can see like almost everything. You can see the type is the character, trim is true, translable is the false at the moment. What is the field name? So you can see the name, right? Read only is false, required is also false, it is searchable, sortable, store, so everything is available. So in this list you can pass out the specific fields name and it will return only that metadata, right? So yeah, so this is the again extra parameters you can pass. Let me comment this part and I will show you one more interesting thing. If you remember this part, right? So first thing is the search, right? All the IDs we have to use, and simple after that we can let's say we perform this operation, right? So it will return all the informations, I mean all the fields data, right? And from that, like we extract only ID, name, phone number and email, right? But the response is very huge. Let's say if you want to reduce that response, like you want to only return the specific IDs data only, that is also possible. So for that you can just use here fields. So here you can use the fields and a list of field name, let's say ID, name, right, email and phone, nothing else. And now you can see here, let me comment this part and list of, sorry, let me add this one and customer only. All right, let me comment this part, and now you can see invalid fields. All right, you can say sorry, my bad. Here we don't need to pass the dictionary, right? You can just pass here the list and add here the ID, name, email and the phone number, and you can see the ID, name, email and the phone number. You will get all the informations like this way. There is one more thing, and which is very interesting. Sometimes the Python version is changed, right? So XML-RPC also change the package, and the way you mention the XML-RPC, right now you can see here this RPC is right now I'm using 3.10. If you are using the lower or the higher version, if this package is installed, right, always you have to remember is if you are getting like XML-RPC lib is not available or not installed, that means you have to define another way. You can just use let's say the try catch like this and import XML-RPC lib directly, and after the everything is same. Alright, and let me run, and you can see it will working fine in this Python version. So my Python version is working like this way, but sometimes depends on the packages. Sometimes it's recognized using the import XML-RPC lib, not with the client. Okay, so you have to remember like this. And yes, in the XML-RPC, sometimes what happen in this, like I'm passing here the list of IDs and passing here the list of field name, right? So sometimes in the XML-RPC, in the Odoo version, some slightly change. Here you have to use the fields, and after that you have to provide here the list of IDs. And if you are getting the error, right, so simple, you don't need to worry. You just simple remove this one and run the script, and it will working fine. Okay, today in this discussion we learn about the search method, the read method, and in the read method you can also pass the extra information, right? Then after search underscore count and fields underscore get. Here there is one more interesting thing is, once you search method call and it will return as IDs, right? And this read method you cannot return as a blank here. If you are passing as a blank, right? Let me comment this part. Sorry, this one. Once I will execute here, you can see it will return as a blank, right? So here list of ID compulsory we have to pass. Now you can see, let's say if you want to optimize your code and you don't want to load more in the Odoo server, right? There is one more method is there, which is called search underscore read. So let me comment this part, right? Method search underscore read. That method I will pass here, and simple I will search from here, or let's say this search variable I will pass here. So it's a blank at the moment, right? And now you can see print customer detail, or let's say for customer in customer detail and the customer, right? And now you can see the difference. So in a one call you will return the IDs as well as the data, so you don't need to call twice. The first one you will get the IDs, after that you will get the field info, like all the record details. So instead of these two calls to the server, the Odoo server, you can just use one method, which is search underscore read. This is very efficient to optimize your code also. And here let's say you can also pass here the list of IDs, like the fields which you want to return, right? Let's say ID, name, phone, and let's say email. So you can see it will return only those data, right? So instead of these two methods, you can just use one method only. And yes, we are using the search method here, right? So here, like, I will use, let's say, mobile. Should be like, let's say the mobile is not null, all the records I want to retry. So you can see zero found, right? And again, I'm going to here in this customer, and here I will try to add 1 2 3 4. So there is a one customer is there, Deco Addict, right? And I will try to return. You can see the Deco Addict, the phone number, email, name, everything is available. And let me add one more field, mobile, and you can see 1 2 3 4 available, right? So like this way you can use this method efficiently. Alright, so this is the basic method to retrieve the data from the Odoo. Now in our next session we are trying to perform the CRUD operation, the create, delete and the update methods. Alright, if you have any doubt related to this topic, please comment below, and see you in our next session.